Spring of 2013 was particularly hot in my hometown. I must admit, it was kind of rare to have that kind of shorts and tank top temperature that early in the year. It was early May, so we had definitely passed that brown and gooey grass part of spring. It was finally that blooming flowers, buds, and green grass phase. The one that smelled fresh and looked like a picture in a teen magazine. Although it was still a bit chilly outside, I could still feel the sun's warmth on my arms through the car window. I heard the first few notes of blurred lines coming out of the car's speakers, and the volume suddenly went up. I looked to my side at my sister and sighed. I know it's her favorite song, but it's been played so much everywhere. It started getting on my nerves about a month ago. And by that time, I couldn't stand the damn song anymore. She knew it. She gave me a quick look and tilted her head to the side, smirking. "It's my birthday. I'm the princess." I rolled my eyes and went back to staring at the slowly passing trees along the side of the road. We certainly chose our time to get back on that road. It was a bit before 4 p.m., and traffic was starting to build as people were getting off work and out of the shopping centers. Still, it was flowing quite rapidly considering the long weekend ahead. I guess it's an influential factor in the determination of traffic on the road or something. I used to hear my mother say things like, "It's pretty crowded for a normal weekend," or "Traffic will be unbearable. We have Monday off." "I really should have bought that pink romper," a voice came from the back seat. Our mutual friend Annabelle was the one who had the idea to go shopping for my sister's birthday. I don't know what she was thinking, though. Ever since we've known her, which had been maybe 10 years ago, she'd been broke as hell. Anna was the kind of gal happily living paycheck to paycheck with her part-time job, working in a grocery store on minimum wage. Actually, now that I think of it, that might explain her ridiculously low banking account. That bitch was always inviting us out on shopping sprees, waving that credit card around to buy everyone gifts and shit. Don't you think you've got enough? I laughed, looking back at the pile of shopping bags resting next to her on the back seat. She scrunched up her nose, amused, and kept on chatting with my sister while I drove my attention back to the pedestrians. It was amusing how the traffic made us travel just a tad bit faster than them. The sidewalk was crawling with businessmen and women walking back home at a medium pace. My mind wandered off as I started to imagine myself starring in a sad music video, looking out that window. As I looked at the passing strangers, not really processing any faces, but looking at the mob in general, one of them stood out. The man was walking faster than the others, his pink striped shirt flowing through the wind. His pace was fast, almost to the point of jogging. And as we passed him, I noticed his expression was one of strong determination, with a bit of anger. His brow was furrowed, and his mouth was stiff. This dude was going somewhere. My gaze followed him as we passed. That's when he abruptly changed his route. He swerved to the left, walking right behind our car and into the next lane, cutting the SUV behind us off. The SUV honked, but the man didn't seem to notice anything. He kept on walking between the cars in the center of the road, his eyes locked to the horizon as if he was staring at something. At this point, my sister and our friends had noticed the man too. "What the fuck does he think he's doing?" my sister asked, a bit amused. I had a strange feeling about this. One does not simply walk right in the middle of the road like that between all those cars. Oh, this was odd. "Go faster," I retorted, a bit worried. "I would, but that freaking grandma won't let me," she snapped, pointing at the white Buick in front of us. Slowly, we were putting some distance between the strange man and us. Suddenly, I see his left hand rise over his head, and he disappeared behind a huge ball of fire. The cars around him had exploded and lifted off the ground, crashing back on the other cars. My eyes were glued to the explosion behind us. The warmth of the fire against my face made me snap out of my shocked state, and I started hearing sounds again. The agonizing screams of the victims mixed with the children weeping and car alarms were all I could process. Annabelle's face was white. She was screaming so loud I was afraid for her vocal cords. My sister had her eyes wide open and kept repeating a breathed, "Oh my God," while staring into the distance. I felt the car going faster. My sister blankly staring at the road with no intention of slowing down. When I turned back to look to the front of the vehicle, I noticed the white Buick had gone. It had been replaced by a giant white truck. The truck didn't seem to be moving, yet we were going at an alarmingly rapid pace. "Look out!" I screamed. As I saw my sister had no intention of stopping her car. Her face was expressionless. She must have been in a complete state of shock. At the last second, I grabbed the steering wheel and yanked it to the right. It was too late. Everything turned to black. When I woke up, a paramedic was forcing out the passenger door, trying to get me out of the wreckage that was my sister's car. I felt a sharp pain in my neck as I tried to move. "Stay still. We're going to get you out of here." The man tried to sound reassuring, but that didn't quite work. I tilted my head to the left, trying to check on my sister. I felt a lump in my throat forming as I noticed her state. The windshield was caved in where the car had hit the truck. The back of the truck was poking through. Her face was covered in blood and glass. She looked so peaceful with her eyes closed. "Gabby? Gabby!" I screamed, trying to wake her up, but she wasn't moving. Nothing was moving. She was just laying there, bloody and calm. I kept on screaming as the paramedics took me out of the car and placed me on a stretcher. I couldn't process any sounds. All I could feel was that lump in my throat.